Hey mamas, good evening and welcome to tonight's live. I'm gonna log onto my Facebook here really quick and get my computer aligned with our talk tonight. This little training, I've been feeling called all day to hop on here, and the weather is super crazy, lots of ice and snow coming our way, so school was closed early and stuff. So I'm just now popping on in between getting dinner ready and potty training my son in the bathroom for the last hour while he was screaming his head off. And then finally he asked to close the door and for me to leave, and he just sang and laughed in there. It was a really interesting experience. But here I am, and I want to talk to you guys about something that's been just nudging in my soul all day long to come in here and connect with you about. So we're going to do it. So if you are hopping on live, let me know you're here. Say hello, and drop your favorite emoji in the comments. If you're catching this later, hashtag replay in the feed and let me know that as well. I am literally set up on my massage table in our bedroom. One of the perks of being a massage therapist and for my husband being married to a massage therapist and healer of all the things, because I have our massage table now that I don't have my studio open anymore. I just work one-on-one in my group program from home while I'm mom. And so yeah, we were doing raindrops. He just had his birthday, so I did a raindrop session on him 2 nights ago, and he's doing one for me tonight. So I get that yummy energy and body healing. It's so good. Raindrop is the best. If you haven't had it, DM me. I will talk to you more about it. I love it. Maybe I'll do a live or something on that. And if you have had it, you know. All right. So what I want to talk to you guys tonight about are the 3 signs that you are ready to heal on a soul level. And there's 3 things that I feel, I'm not saying that these are the only signs that you're ready to heal on a soul level, but 3 signs that I see consistently through the women that I've worked with throughout the years, as well as with myself. And something that consistently comes up for me during my healing journey, which is constantly evolving, and you have the ebb and flow through your healing process. So you may uncover 1 to 10 things, who knows, right, all at once, especially if you do a medicine wheel journey like I'm offering in Mindful Mama. When I've done those journeys, I've had just 1 thing come up through the whole cycle, or I've had it just an onion peels 10 layers at once. And so I'm all these things are addressed through one cycle or through one journey of the wheel. And these are 3 aspects that I feel 3 signs that I feel every time I go through a new wave of healing, so a new evolution of my soul. And when it's I get through the one group of healing things and things kind of level out for a while, and then something else comes to the surface, or a repetitive pattern that comes back to the surface for more work, more shadow work, more healing. 3 signs that I see consistently across the board with women. And so I want to know, as I talk to you guys about these tonight, how it lands for you. I want to know if you resonate with 1 of the 3, all of the 3, 2 of the 3. I want you to let me know your experiences with this stuff, because I love to get the conversation going and to know more about you and how I can serve you here in our free trainings, as well as inside of my programs. I want to know how I can be the best possible healing guide for your process. So sign 1 is anxiety. And I don't just mean mild anxiety. I mean severe, relentless anxiety. So someone who would consider themselves to have, or has been told at some point in their life that they have anxiety or has anxiety disorder or something like that. So raise your hand if that's you. I see this in every single one of my clients that is really, really there for more, whether they realize it or not, and is really ready to go deeper, they have anxiety. Anxiousness follows when your body, your mind, your soul, and your heart are trying to communicate something to you that you're not quite fully hearing, or maybe you are, but you're not quite acting or answering the call of what's being told to you. Anxiety. So that is sign number one, is having major anxiety. And usually this will pop up in a repetitive pattern. So your anxiety may be related to social anxiety, right? So I used to have this thing where I had severe anxiety when I was younger, before I ever went through the medicine wheel at all. So this was like before 2015. I had severe anxiety to the point that I couldn't go anywhere in public, to go to the store or meet my basic needs without my mom or a friend with me, or a partner. Somebody had to be with me, or I would not go. I would just isolate inside. It was really tough for me. This was back in my early 20s. It was tough for me to do anything aside from school. Even going to school at that time in my life was really hard. I had this through high school. I had it through childhood and didn't even realize it. Like every time I had a game or a recital or something, like that anxiousness that comes through you when you know that you're going to have to perform or be on the spot, I would have that, but like times a million. And it got to a point where it got to this peak, like right before I went to Peru for my first medicine wheel journey and the shamanic healing that I went through. Right before that, my anxiety was off the charts. It was crippling. It was something and it was very depressing. It completely owned my life, right? Everything was dictated around that anxiety. And I see this all the time in my clients. I've seen this for years in my moms, in all the women I've worked with across the board, when they're actually ready for something more. It's like you're on that cusp of the next thing, and there's all this anxiousness just bottling up inside of your body, because of like resistance and because of fear of actually stepping into that space of the unknown, and the unknown of both the good and the unknown of what you have to work through in your shadow self in order to get to that other side. But regardless, your soul is calling, right? So if you can relate to this, let me know. I would love to know if this is landing for you, because it's a big deal. It's a big sign that your soul is trying to communicate to you that something or some things need to be healed. And for me, going back into my example I just said, my anxiety when I was young came from childhood trauma. And I just had no idea at the time when I was younger and inexperienced and still figuring things out for the first time ever. I didn't know how to see that sign as communication from my soul, from my highest self, from God. I had no way to know at the time. I had no one there teaching me that, and I just thought I was like stuck with this thing forever. That, like I said, was absolutely crippling my life. So anxiety, sign number one. Sign number two, that your soul is ready to heal your trauma and heal on a soul level. So the deepest space of healing that you can possibly give for yourself, where you will actually find relief, results, and freedom from the pain and the trauma, the fear that you may carry. Anxiety was number one. Two is feeling like you are stuck, feeling like you are in what I call stuck mode. And it's really just this intense stagnation, this literally like you cannot move, your feet are planted on the ground, yet you're craving and desiring so much, so fiercely. You may not be able to define everything you're desiring and you're feeling called to do within your soul, but you know that it's there, and you know that you are so capable of more than where you are, yet you can't move. And this is affected by the anxiety. This is something that is absolutely caused because of anxiety, but but it also feeds the other way. The more stagnation that you have, the more stuck you are feeling and you believe you are, the worse your anxiety gets, and vice versa. So this is a huge sign. If you're feeling stuck, that is your sign that you're meant to be healing these things and addressing things on a deeper level within yourself. Traumatic experiences, whether it's trauma, adulthood, from motherhood, or just feeling like your soul calling is suppressed right now. Like, you know it's there and you know you're meant for more, but you can't figure it out. Feeling stuck. That is sign number 2. And I feel like there is more I want to say on this. I took some notes earlier, so I'm going to pull this up really quick to make sure I don't miss anything with you. Let me know how this is landing for you as you're listening to this. If you have experienced this, or if you're feeling it right now in your life, knowing like, yeah, I know I have some shit to heal. I know some of it. I may not know all of it, because we never really do. It comes up more and more as you progress and as you go along. Yes, there is another thing I want to say about feeling stuck. So there's like 2 aspects to being stuck or having this stagnation that I feel like I have also seen consistently within myself and with the mothers that I've worked with over the years, when they are going through their healing process, or when they come in to see me and they come for intuitive guidance, or they come for a massage, yet we end up talking about what they're meant to do in their life, or they're crying their eyes out to me, telling me how stuck they feel, how miserable they are, how depressed they're feeling, how anxious they're feeling, this stuck space that they're in. There's 2 things that I see all the time in these people, these women: frustration and fire. Sometimes the fire usually follows the frustration. And so sometimes it's dormant at first a little bit, but I can sense it. I can feel it in their energy bodies by being on the phone with them or being in person with them. So the first one, frustration. The frustration, is kind of obvious because you're feeling stuck. And if you're feeling stuck, you believe you're stuck, it does get frustrating. It gets really unnerving being in a space where you feel like you can't move, but you want to. Like, you're literally I have to get a drink. Like, you're literally being bolted to the ground or something. You have weights on your feet and you can't move, but you want to run, right? So there's this space of frustration and just feeling like it's never going to go away and it's never going to end. I see this all the time. And there's a lot of sadness that is attached to frustration, and obviously fear. The fear of, am I going to be in this place forever? And the answer is no, you're not. Everything is temporary, of course. And so for any of you who are in this right now, or going or have been through this, let me know what your path was. Let me know what this was like for you. Or if you're in this right now, maybe we can just drop some heart emojis in the comments and show some love for everyone. I'm with you. I know that this process is very real. It's very raw. It is the most vulnerable thing to really step into your healing journey, to really just be like, I need help. I need support, and I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to go there, and I can't do it on my own anymore. I've tried. Or feeling like I've tried everything and nothing is working. So I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for a different approach to this. And for me, that was the medicine wheel. And that's why I offer it to all of you. So this frustration and this fire, when you're in a space of this frustration and anxiety, and just feeling stuck and feeling very almost angry, or like I said earlier, unnerved that you're feeling so stuck, there are some ways that you can check in with yourself to kind of get yourself through that just in the moment. It doesn't mean it goes away entirely, But just kind of checking in, closing your eyes, putting one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, taking a couple deep breaths and grounding into yourself, asking yourself, where is this frustration coming from? What is it exactly that's getting under my skin and making me feel so frustrated with where I'm at in my life right now? Is it because I know I'm capable of more? Is it because I don't know what next step to take? Is it because I do know the next step, or I think I may know, but I'm afraid to move? I'm afraid to step forward into the unknown. I'm afraid of the leap that is required in healing my soul, healing trauma, going into the shadows in order to get into the other side, which is my dream life, what my soul is here to do and is called to do. Feeling fulfilled, feeling abundant, feeling blessed and joyful, both within motherhood and without motherhood as an individual and for the collective. So checking in with yourself. And really acknowledging and making note of what's coming up for you in this space of anxiousness, frustration, confusion, fear, whatever it is. Acknowledging it and allowing yourself to feel it, and then allowing yourself to release control. So I feel like a lot of mothers, we control so much in our lives. We have to. You're the heart of your family. You are the womb of your family, and you're the heart of your family. And without you, things cannot continue going on, really. Like, I am so blessed that my husband is as amazing as he is and as supportive as he is. I hear so many stories that are not the way my life is. And I'm so thankful. Of course, we've had to work together and grow together to learn how to be in the space that we are together in our home. But I still run the fucking world, and I know it. And that's just one of the gifts that we have as mothers, is that we're able to multitask, we're able to juggle, we're able to, if we can give birth, we can obviously endure. But doing it in a way where it feels effortless and the load is light, actually, and you're not just sinking in quicksand and miserable in your life. So I feel like really acknowledging where the frustrations come, which is sign number 2, feeling stuck, frustration, and the fire within you that comes up day to day or moment to moment. Sometimes it may not be for weeks, whatever it is. Allowing yourself to really acknowledge it, go through it, and just being like, okay, I'm frustrated because I'm not operating at my best self. I'm frustrated because I'm not choosing the best people to be around, or I'm not choosing the best things to put in my body. I'm not getting enough sleep, and that frustrates me. Or I'm not stepping up into my soul's calling. I'm allowing toxicity to just circle me in my life, whatever it is. Or your life is so good, yet you still have this thing holding you back, weighing you down, and nagging on you that you need to let breathe through the surface. So I feel like just letting yourself get out of the way and releasing control, acknowledge these things that come up for you when you check in. Or that you don't even need to check in about because you know that they're there. You know what they are. Getting out of the way, and just what if that answer took control instead of you? So if you're frustrated about something, if you're frustrated that you're not at your highest self, you're not showing up every day for your soul's calling, and that could look as simple an example of me was back in 2013, 2014, when I was still working for someone else, I was working for someone else. I was like literally working 6 days a week, 11-hour shifts, being a front office for a crazy busy chiropractic office in Arizona, and also doing massage therapy and Reiki, and getting very little time to nourish my soul. And I was just depleted and exhausted, and I was chasing someone else's dream. And for me, that was so frustrating. It was almost like it just blew my light out. Oh my gosh, it just killed my soul a little bit every day that I was there. And then finally, my soul got pushed so much, so frustrated, so fiery, which is the next aspect that I wanted to talk about with you in feeling stuck, that I just like erupted like a volcano and left it all, purged all my belongings, and moved out of this beautiful townhome that I was in the middle of the city, and went to Sedona with just my 3 dogs and a few of my belongings, and like basically got into my soul and got serious and started listening. But it took like 2 full years of me feeling like this and like I was going to explode to get to that space, to actually release control, let go, have no idea what's on the other side, but no, this is the only way, this is the only option. So, that's what it looked like for me. It's not going to look the same for you. But this is just an example from myself of what releasing control when you are so frustrated and feeling stuck can look like. And so that brings me to fire. And fire is your opportunity. It is your opportunity to rise. It is like the biggest blessing in the world you could have when you get into this space of feeling like the volcano is going to erupt. There's fire in your solar plexus, just cooking and cooking. And how you use it determines everything. If you choose to erupt in a destructive way, because fire can be, fire destructs virtually everything in its path. So it can like work for you in destroying the blocks standing in your way, that fear, the resistance, the control, so that you can step into a space where you're ready to ask for help and you're ready to seek deeper levels of yourself with a guide, and go into your soul in a space where you're really ready to commit, where you're so ready to get serious, and you do it. Because that fire just demolishes everything getting in the way, because it's so fierce within inside of you. You can either do that, or you can go into like self-sabotage mode. And if you're in this self-sabotaging space, you can really wreck your life up for a little bit. And it actually has nothing to do with that's where you're meant to be. It has more to do with the fear and the control of not stepping out of the way and letting the fire within you work in your favor, seeing it as an opportunity versus a crutch. So it's really a choice. It's really something where it requires you to check in on yourself, have the ability to listen to what's really being said within you, not what you know, not what your mind thinks you need to hear because of like, oh, well, I have this obligation or this responsibility or this relationship or this lease or whatever, doesn't matter. If you don't, and like, let's talk from motherhood, right? If you have kids, you can't, say this all the time, like you can't just jet across the world and go into the jungle and go on this like month-long soul quest. You can't do that. It's not realistic for you. If it is, beautiful, and go do it. But for the moms out there that are like me, where like, thank God I did it before because I can't now. If you're like me, where you've got to be home, you have a family that you're raising, and you have shit to do every day. You have people to take care of. So you're figuring out right now how to balance yourself and still prioritize your healing with with your obligations of motherhood and marriage, then that's where you have to still be like, okay, so I actually still need to honor the things I'm feeling though, and not disregard them because I am a mother and I have obligations and I'm a wife or whatever, because that's self-sabotaging. That is literally prolonging your healing. That is literally keeping you in this trauma spiral, this cycle of pain and suffering and trauma. When you're able to look at it and be like, okay, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I have obligations, but I have this fierce yearning in my soul. And I'm so tired of feeling stuck that I've got to figure out a way to listen to this while I've got to figure out a way to heal this space within myself, to heal my heart, to heal my soul, while still rocking it as being a mom. And I know that if I do go into this healing space and love the fuck out of myself and really allow myself to release this suffering that I'm just at this point choosing to carry for no reason, really, if I'm able to go into that and I choose that, then I'm doing the best thing not only for me, but for my babies. Whether they're babies or they're teenagers or young adults or grown adults, depending on what season of motherhood you're in. It's like you're cheating everyone and you're really prolonging the progress and the freedom of everyone in your life that you are soul tied to by not healing your soul first. That is as clear as it gets, as plain as it gets. It's like, it's a process and it's a journey. For some people, it's really your whole life, right? But thank God for me, I've prioritized myself so much that I am far from perfect, but I'm able to, at this point in my life, at this point in my journey of self-mastery and healing, that I can notice things within myself. I don't have to carry them around like a crutch anymore. I can acknowledge them, address them, or get out of the way of them and let my soul be my guide. So if this is landing for you, let me know. Let me know how you're feeling about this. This is a big, deep, heavy talk, and I would love to know how you are feeling, how your soul is responding, how your heart is responding, and just you have to tell your mind to get out of the way a lot of the time. You have to be in charge, drive the, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like Jesus take the wheel. You have to allow yourself to get behind the wheel and get your mind out of the way so that your heart, your soul, your Christ consciousness can move forward, can be what's in the front. And when you make the choice to get out of your pain body and you allow yourself to take the leap and go into the unknown, what follows your shadow work, what follows your deep healing process, like doing the medicine wheel, being in a container where you're supported and where you're held, and you know that you have someone or people that you can rely on. Like in Mindful Mama, it's a group program. So not only am I intuitively guiding every single week for every single cycle of the wheel and like literally holding you in this intimate space where you are so safe, and you can still go mom and live your normal life and go to your job and everything else, but you have a community of women in there going through this with you. And in doing that, it is such a game changer knowing you are not alone. You have experiences that of course are unique because your healing process is unique, but you also have camaraderie and this community to fall back on through your healing process. So when you go through all of that, when you commit to something that's bigger than yourself, bigger than your life right now, bigger than what you see as your reality at this current moment, when you go through something like that, what's on the other side is saying, farewell, fuck you, get out of my way, pain body, and you step into your body of abundance and your body of fulfillment and your body of freedom. And that is the truth. Like from that point on, I say this all the time and I really mean it. When you go through the medicine wheel, your life is never the same. Like your life can never be the same after that. You leave your pain body so far in the past. I mean, the past isn't even a place I would call it. It's just like so disconnected from you at that point, and you come out feeling like you can breathe, like you can not only take a breath in, but you can let it out instead of just holding in all of this tension and pain or trauma, whatever it is. It's like being able to breathe out for the first time in your life. So I've really just riffed for a while on sign number 2. We're going to go into sign number 3 now. Let me know how all of this is landing for you guys. I would love to know like who in here feels these things right now. Who in here is like, yes, I have been through this, or I'm going through this right now and it sucks, or oh my gosh, you're speaking directly to me. How'd you know that, Tiffany? Let me know who you are and where you're at. And you don't have to like dish out your whole, your whole personal business on this live feed if you don't want to, but you're welcome to. Sign number 3 is inner longing. And this is where your anxiety and your frustration, your anxiety and your stuckness, that frustration and fire gets so intense and so fierce for so long that the inner longing inside of you, this like soul urge comes through and is just pushing right on the other side of your heart chakra. So like right inside your skin, coming up to the surface, just right there, urging you to move, to act, to trust. This is the inner longing. And this is sign number 3. This is, I would call this the big one. After this, you generally make a decision. You either choose the self-sabotage to stay where you are, or you just, you just take the leap and you dive headfirst into your healing journey. And those are the women that I love to work with the most. The women who are really, really ready. The women who are like, this is so real inside of me and it will not go away. And I can't do anything else but feel this and answer it, because the next move is like life or death. That's what it feels like. And it is a life or death, because when you go into your healing journey, when you go into the shadow work, you are literally burying your old self so that you can rise up a new, higher version of yourself in that highest self body of being. You've gone through the healing work, right? You've literally gone blasted through the shadows like a phoenix rising from the ashes. I love saying this. And it's really the best place to be. So an inner longing is a brilliant sign, is a sign to look at as a gift from the universe, being like, you've asked for help. You're asking for help. You're praying to God every night, asking, what's the next move? What am I supposed to do? Help me see it. That soul urge is that. And I'm sure you get other signs as well. If you do, what are they? Let me know. I would love to know. I can think of like 50,000 signs that I have gotten or do get anytime I call upon my highest self and ask for an answer. But that soul urge is number 1. That's like, for me, there is no other thing in this world aside from being a mother and the like roles that I play every day in my personal life. There is no other thing I am here to do but this, working with mothers, helping them heal and master who they are as them, as their self with a capital S. This is my soul calling. And how do I know it? Because of the soul urge that I have received for over a decade, that finally just like landed. And I was like, oh my God, I'm finally ready to listen. I'm finally ready to take all these things that I've gained all these years and apply it into where my soul has been calling me basically my whole life. And that is to work with women who are very ready and very serious and want to heal their trauma and want to master themselves for the rest of their life. So that inner longing is what I would call like the absolute. That would be, if you are at that point, then you're ready and it's time for you to act. It's time for you to step forward and get the support that you need and really allow yourself to like do more than long for something. right? It's time for you to, oh my gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? To like acknowledge and tease this idea a little bit, and not just tease it, but to allow it to flower and allow it to express itself through you. So those are the 3 signs. Oh, I want to say one thing. So with the inner longing, if you know that you're feeling this, but you don't know, like what exactly you're longing for, you know that you feel this all the time, but you can't really define everything about like every detail. And that's what's your holdup of like, what's the next step? Typically, when you're ready to heal and you're having an inner longing, you'll have the first 2 signs that I said, for sure. And then what will happen after that is this inner longing is so fierce that you just like want to scream or you go mute. And so at that point, it's like you have to close your eyes and just be like, I'm longing for more, and then fill in the blank. And what your answer is, whether it's like more peace, more money, more happiness, more fulfillment, more balance, more space, more of a direction in life, more of my soul, right? Whatever you do, whatever you say when you fill in the blank, and I mean this on a soul level, so money wasn't even the right word, but abundance could be a word, because prosperity is part of abundance. So let's just say that. But if you can ask yourself, like I'm longing to feel more of what, rather than looking at what you don't have, say what you're longing to feel. And listen to that and really honor that, because like for me, before I fully healed my childhood trauma, I was longing for a relationship. And even until I met Tyler, I was, oh my gosh, I had been praying my whole life for him. Didn't know it, obviously. But if you go back into every phase of my healing journey, from when I started in my early 20s to the time I entered my first shamanic healing quest, to when I lived in India for 6 months and did this, this deep detox that was, it's like a spiritual, physical, emotional, holistic detox, to giving birth to my kids with no epidural and just feeling all that I could do, all these things that I did. I was yearning for relationship, and what is that? It's for connection. I needed to know that I was loved and worthy, and that stems all the way back into abandonment issues and childhood trauma that I had, like abandonment from my conception because I was adopted, and the abuse that I went through as a child. So, it's like I needed to know that I was loved, so I would pray for this relationship. And lo and behold, I was praying for myself. I was asking God for myself. And once I did that work, I received Tyler. He just like hit me over the head when I did not expect it and didn't really want it to happen. And the same thing happened with my business. It's like when I got to a space where I was ready to answer the call, everyone showed up. Everything showed up. All the answers showed up. But that was because I was so fully invested in my healing process. I was so committed to getting all of these blocks and these pieces of pain out of my being. I was so committed to that. And so I've done everything you can think of. I literally have. And I love every bit of my story. It's so great. And I hope the same for you. If you're not there yet, if you are somebody who really resonates with this and is like craving to find the answers for your soul and craving the freedom to let go of your trauma, let's talk. You can DM me. You can message in this group for support at any time. And I would love to see you in my Mindful Mama program. And if you are more curious about the medicine wheel, I am teaching a master class on February 27th for the medicine wheel that's going to introduce you to what the wheel completely is and how it works, why it works, and what we actually do inside of a medicine wheel journey. That way, when you go into Mindful Mama, you kind of have a foundation of knowing what to expect in there as much as you can. Just about the logistics side, the secret recipe of what works. And of course, because then you have to release control to go on the epic journey of your healing journey. So yeah, I will put the links to Mindful Mama and the masterclass. The masterclass is launching in a couple days, actually. I'm hoping to have it open on Friday for you to start signing up. We will see. If not, then Monday you can expect it. And I will put Mindful Mama's link in the comments of this live. And I will add the masterclass to this live as soon as it's ready. So let me know how all of this resonated for you. I would love to hear from you. And truth be told, I would love to get some conversations going on the things that clicked for you and landed in here, and the things that you're like, oh, I don't know about that, but I'm curious, or I want it, you know. Let me know, connect with me and connect with the other moms in here, and let's get this party started. Let's get this healing started. So I love you, and I will see you guys soon. Namaste.